Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And then Councillor Nolan.
I've just been holding myself from being able to speak, just adding thoughts here. I want to also just appreciate everyone who spoke in public comment. I think what we are really challenged with here is a situation where we're talking about the safety of all on our streets and the accessibility of how we utilize our streets and what's being prioritized here to make it a political statement. I really just despise the fact that we have to be sitting in this seat to be making this political conversation. I wish that it was on the city to say, this is what we can do, this is how we can do it, and actually get it done. I think that is really the role in which you all have and serve also as authority of our city and leaders in our city as well. But to make it be put back on us as elected officials to make this a political back and forth is really heartbreaking. And I think at the end of the day, it is the whole community that honestly fails at the delivery of what actually comes out of this conversation as a whole. You know, I think about the conversation as Madam Mayor just talked about for Main Street. I worship at Union Baptist Church, and I was on many of those calls and attended many of those in-person sessions and gave a lot of feedback as to how we can improve the conversations and the dialogue with our community. As a direct abutter to the Garden Street installation, and talked about how the lack of connection and community engagement that I was able to receive as a direct abutter. There's a lot of work as a city that we need to be doing to making sure that our community outreach is stellar, because there are a lot of people who oftentimes get left out and then wake up on a Monday morning or whatever day when installation starts to be like, what is going on here? So there's a lot of work that we need to be doing here to make sure that our community outreach is top of the top. And it's not going to be 100%, but we really need to learn and build upon what we're learning, the mistakes that have been made, and how we actually do better, whether that's language, whether that's holding more sessions, and really making sure that we're a part of different community events and utilizing the council as a resource to help get information out. As I shared with you, Commissioner, through you, Madam Mayor, we had a conversation around even the Cambridge Street Task Force, right? And really trying to gather more information, gather more people to sit on that, to join that task force. I just feel like this thing that we're doing here around 2026, 2027, what we ultimately want to see is that we are making safe streets that are actually done efficiently, effectively, and that we can save lives, but also make sure that our streets are safe and make sense for all who use them. It's not just one population that uses our streets. There are several stakeholders who uses our streets. Businesses who rely on parking, loading zones, handicap spaces, so much more, that when we do these things in a very hastily manner, that we actually don't take into consideration, or that gets maybe sidetracked because we want to speed our way through something. That's not appropriate. And I think that's where we need to be able to be thoughtful and be very intentional in how we actually are engaging our community and our public about what the next steps are. This isn't that we want another life to be lost on our streets, okay? This is about we want to move as a community, as a city, together to getting things done. And so having the extended possibility, the flexibility of being able to do things in a more methodical and thoughtful way is what can be really helpful here. It doesn't mean that people who vote for or against are less this or less that, or care less about bikers or not. We all, I really hope that our community is hearing that every member of this body cares about the life and the safety of all members of our community, whether visitors or residents. But I'm not feeling this political game that we have to be in this space of making a vote for you all to ultimately do the job. So I just needed to name that, and I needed to be on record naming that, because this position sucks. Thank you.